Hi guys, this is Monday selections for Leicester. So we'll be concentrating on the flat turf going forward, and there'll be maybe a bit of interest on the all weather. Now the first bit is to know your course that you're going at. So this is Leicester. I'm going to put these slides up in the comments so it doesn't cut off certain bits of it, but for some reason I'm still working with the videos and seeing how best to put them up. So this is, like I say, the track at Leicester. Now you've got to know your flat tracks, so these are an example of just a few that got similar characteristics to Leicester. So if you're looking at the form, sort of horses that run at these races might actually run well at Leicester as well. So not always, but as a general rule of thumb, always worth checking out when you're reading the form. Good morning everybody, hope you all had a nice weekend. Right, we're going to, I'm just going to go through the selections for today. So there's 4 up in a multiple. I've got one single I've put already out that is unexposed type, that one. So that's more based on the trainer and the jockey. Now I'm going to run through quickly how I've read this race. Now the first one, the 222 King's Cavalry, looks to be the one to be. Obviously it's top of the market for a reason, but if you look at its pedigree, it is going to be a tough one. But after that, there's not really much between them. Now I've gone one with From the Tracker that caught my eye. Can't remember, what was last July, I think. Court Alert. Now it's at 10 to 1. Again, it's more based on, it was based on this run. So it ran really well at Newmarket last year in this race, and off 9 stone 1. I mean, it was 25 to 1, finished second, but it really impressed that day on good 6 furlong, good firm. So yeah, I did like that one. It's one that I perfectly put in the tracker for this year. Now don't get me wrong, it's 191 days off, so it's running fresh, but it's also had the potential of, they've seen that run. We don't know how good this horse is going to be. So if you look at the Racing Post, they highly rate it. Now obviously you've got the same in a lot of these. We don't know what they're going to do, so this is probably the most riskiest one of the day. So I would say that out of the ones that we've got, this is the least form, but because it was on the tracker, pulled it up this morning, having a look at it, and I think at 10 to 1 I'm happy to take it to that. Go down to the forecast. It was forecast to be 6 to 1, so if the forecaster's got it right, then every chance it should run. But I think it's going to do well to win, but I do think it's got decent place value at 10 to 1. So that's the first selection. The second selection is, again, there's the element of risk. Is you've got Serviceman that comes in for Andrew Balding, completely unexposed, ran some decent races up in class, and now it's dropped 2 classes for this one. So very difficult to pick that one based on still not knowing what it's going to do, but there's potential there for improvement, so be aware of that. The other one I did like was actually Johnny Boom, and I thought looked credible, especially with Clifford Leon, but that's been pulled now. I'm suspecting it might be due to something not quite with the horse today. It's only run 6 days ago, whether it's a bit lame after that run, but it looked like it had a bit of a warm up. Now that left me with my choice. I was stuck between Johnny Who and the Sea of Charm. So I've gone with Sea of Charm. Now I'm using Sky because you're still getting 3 places in a 7-horse race, so it's a good value. Now this one, I'm not a massive fan of William Cox, but I have to admit, if you look down, it's down when he's been on board here. He's ran some. Well, that was with the same jockey that ran on it last time. He's ran some decent rides on it. Not be able to find them now. Sorry, I used different apps, you see. So, but yeah, he's won on this horse. Yeah, so the one back at Brighton, good firm, Class 6. So he knows the horse. He's rode the horse quite a lot. Now, most of its winning luck has been on. Well, most of its winning actually. He's had more wins on the all weather, but he's won 7 races in total. Some decent prize money aboard that one. So I think in this race, when you look at what else is available, I mean, this is top of the market. There's not much between it, but there's a big difference in the price. Now, Ray Dawson's another one that's been riding well, so I can't say I'd put people off it. I mean, I just think it needs longer. I think it's, looking at that one, it's been going back. The one at the top of the market, I think, it's been running over longer distances at more success. So, Sea of Charm, it's an 8-year-old, so very exposed, but I think against the rest, it gets my vote. So that's that one. I'm not going to dwell too long on each selection, just giving you a brief outline of the reasons I've pulled them out today. Now, Bay Breeze was quite a straightforward one, straight off the tracker, quite an open race, and again for me is the most. There's still that unexposed dangerous look with the 4-year-olds that we don't know how good. Just Queen High, good price, won't put anyone off it. Thunderous Love's showing potential on the all-weather. Whether it's going to turn that into turf, you've got options there. But again, the one that came from the tracker, I was quite keen to see it, was this one, Bay Breeze. Now, David Allen's been in great form since he's been back. This is won 8 of its 57 races, so it's won races and it's placed highly on a lot of its runs. Now, it's slightly down off the mark it has been at, but it's run a big race at Leicester, and if anyone remembers this race from last year, we actually we picked up with Twilight Romance, if anyone can remember back that far back. So if you look at this race, all these names are quite good progressive 4-year-olds that we've seen, and then on the back side of that you had Bay Breeze at 25-1. Now, that was a 6-year-old, but it really got amongst the 4-year-olds, so I don't mind having a go at this one. That race was in a Class 4 off a similar sort of mark. We're looking today at a Class 5, so it's down in class. David Allen, if you look at his recent form since he's been back he tends to do better over the turf. So if you look at his rides, he's been pretty consistent, really has. When you look at Firsk, it's all these sort of like 5-year-olds, 6-year-olds that he's done well on. I mean, a classic example was this one, which is again an older horse for Timmy's to be run a big race. So yeah, the jockey connection and stable connection for me on that one, I found really interesting. So that was that one. And then the last one that concludes the selection is Hofzan. Now, again, decent looking horse. This one's quite unexposed compared to a lot of them, I would say. Still not truly know how good it is. Now, again, this is a tricky race. You've got some good stables, and this is obviously a smaller stable with Nichols, but she's a true trainer. And I think the fact that they've put the apprentice on board today, taking 7 off, should put it right in the frame. Now, that's purely based on what I've seen it run on the all-weather. It's one that obviously is carried over from the all-weather. Now, as it said, it's going on to turf for its debut, so it's unexposed, but I just felt that one was definitely worth a go. I mean, it was second favourite in the market. It's dropped out a bit. I mean, that'll be based on people looking at form. So yeah, that's an option. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's other ones in there that we've mentioned that you could go with a bigger price. Some of them are just going out for the first run of the year. That's what caught me on with this one. 27 days since it last run. Again, the danger's not run on turf, so we know it's a good horse. It's proved that in its races over the all-weather, it's been pretty consistent. So they're obviously quite keen on it. If it runs as well as it has done on the all-weather, especially with the claim run today, and at one of the bottom weights, I think it's got every chance, should place at least. So it's a bit of a shot to nothing, that one. But that's the conclusion of the 4 races I've looked at. Again, like I always say, there's dangers, so be mindful. I'm just putting it up as a Yankee for the channel, because we've also got we've got one up there already today that was put up very early on. So, and I think that's you can actually get a better price for it now. So Crimson Rose was the one I put out for the channel. It's actually gone out in price. I think it wouldn't be a bad shout to take it, especially if you're getting 2 to 1 about it. I got less than that last night, I think. This jockey, this young apprentice, really seems to have found his feet recently. But if you look at some of the shorter prices, he's winning. He's been quite consistent. There was one for Charlie Appleby. Now, if you look at the profile of this sort of horse, it's a Godolphin horse. Onto the straight onto the flat look, in a class 3, and it's won. So he's obviously using the claimer to help with the mark for the day. So I hope that helps, guys, and that gives you a bit of reasoning behind, first of all, the selection that was put last night earlier, and also the selection that has been the selections for today, the Yankee. So that's for people that want to know a bit of the reasoning why I've gone with the selections today. And like I say, this is I would suppose I didn't want to call it a nap, but it's the early bird one, the one that I think it's got the most potential as a young horse, and they're the ones that I'll be looking at following this year and trying to build up my tracker for 2026. Right, guys, I'm not going to rattle on anymore. It's probably too long anyway, but I hope that helps, guys. And I'm going to put the channels on the in the comments and in the channel, in the community pages, and I'll also put it up as a little video today. Thanks guys, bye for now.